I want to do videos for YouTube, but there's so many fears that come up when I just think about uploading a video that normally I don't do it because I try to follow my excitement, and therefore I make excuses when I want to do a video. Then I'm like, well, I'm not excited about it. I'm excited about doing videos, but I'm really scared still. I have different fears that come up. And so in this video, what I want to talk about is how to handle fear. Like, what do you do with it? How can you still act? And especially fear of being judged by others. And yeah, it's like, I'm gonna describe the feeling I just feel right now. It's like you imagine all these people whose judgment is kind of important to you, and you imagine them like disliking you and thinking that you're just a piece of shit, that you're unworthy, that you're not worthy as a human, you know. And they look at you and they're like, look at that motherfucker, look at him, he's so stupid, he's pathetic. And so when I think about that, for example, I think about myself uploading a video and then just my parents watching it and like, what the fuck? And I imagine them, or I imagine other people who are commenting my videos, former friends or people I know from my studies or from my work. And when I imagine that, I feel such a strong emotion of fear. So it's crazy, you know, it's that emotion that goes from like here, you know, the throat until the belly, and it's all there. And it makes you feel like shit. It makes you feel like you cannot talk about what you want to talk, and it makes you feel like you cannot even behave how you want to behave, because if you try to behave like you don't have this fear, then you feel even worse because you have to force it. You have to force yourself. So it feels like other people are controlling how you're behaving. This is how it feels like. And so most of the time, it's the easiest thing to do is to think that the reason why you feel like that is because of the judgment of other people. It's because of all these people who don't understand you and who are just judging you. And most of the time the mind is just thinking, fucking assholes, they don't enable me to be who I am. And I finally want to be who I am. I want to be funny, I want to be confident, and I can't because of all of these fucking people who just like are dragging me down. And so that's how it feels like. And it's so fucking annoying because you want to be yourself and it feels like you can't. And you look at all these other people who don't have this fear, and they're just funny, they're just like having friends and having a nice life. And you're here, you're fucking struggling, and you're like, how are they doing it? Why can't I do it? And then you start identifying with it, and you think, well, I'm just shy, and this is just who I am. But that's not the truth, obviously. It's just a fear that you have in yourself, a physical sensation, because of what you believe to be true. And so what you can do, this is the biggest advice, and I do that myself, I practice it. It's like, if you really are scared of what people are thinking of you, what you can start to do is to see that the best way to go about it first is to be okay with the fear. So it's here in your body, and however intense the fear is, you're okay with it. So you're okay with being pathetic. You're okay with being a little piece of shit. And you just feel it. I feel it right now. I don't feel good. I feel like I can't be myself. I can't even it probably is noticeable with my posture, with how I'm talking. I'm not very confident right now. And I feel this fear. I'm a little like that, you know. And I'm okay with it. And so you can start looking at the fear and being okay with it being here right now in your body. And you're watching it. And also you can start to see that you shouldn't take yourself seriously, and that it's okay if you're really pathetic, because the best way to win against the fear is to acknowledge the fear and to agree with the fear. So the fear in yourself is kind of telling you you're a piece of shit and you cannot act like you want to act. You're not worthy. And what you can do is be okay with that and be like, okay, I'm just gonna agree with that. I'm gonna just not try to be funny. I'm not gonna try to be confident. And I'm not gonna try to convince other people who are judging me that I'm worthy, that I'm actually better than they think I am. No, I'm gonna be like, yes, it's exactly how you think. I'm just, I'm sad. I feel like shit. It's exactly what you want for me, or what you're pinpointing. It's exactly true. And so what you can start to do is to actually just like break yourself and make fun of yourself before people even do. And you're also going to notice that that's actually what people who are really confident are okay doing. People who are really confident, like stand-up comedians like Zach Galifianakis or Louis C.K., if you know them, because like for American examples, they are okay with being completely pathetic, with people believing that they are gay, that they are perverts, and that they are super strange, that they have such a strange lifestyle, strange thoughts, strange habits, and they sometimes express things, and you're like, man, if I said that, I would feel so bad, and they don't give a shit, and it's because they are okay with people shitting on them. It doesn't. They'd still be okay with that. And so it's not like they know it's gonna be funny and people are going to be okay with it, and that's why they do it. The reason why they are able to do it is because they don't care in the first place if people are going to shit on them. They don't care because it's not, their self-esteem is not built upon what other people will think of them. And therefore, it's it's energy, they can say a thing that if you said it, people would just shit on you. They would just like destroy you. But for them, it doesn't happen because it's not about what you say. It's about the energy. And so what you can try to do in order to really win against that fear of being destroyed by other people is to just like kind of destroy yourself. And so you make yourself pathetic, and you're okay with really, really being pathetic. And so I want to make videos where I really talk about stuff that I am really scared of talking about, and that's what I wanted for this video. I'm not gonna do it because it's gonna be too long otherwise. But that's how you can handle fear. It's by truly embracing what you fear most. And what you fear most, what most people fear most is being like publicly shamed and publicly being shit on. And what's funny is the more you fear it, the more you actually risk it, and you see people just like fucking with you and trying to pull you down. And when you're okay with it and you're actually taking the risks and you're being okay with being just how it is, being like just being like I feel so bad, and you're okay with that, then that's when people stop nagging at you. I've noticed that. I've noticed that with my parents, or even with my sister. I talk to her about all of my opinions that I normally think people would think that I'm crazy. For example, I believe this is all a dream, and everything you experience depends on how you think and how you feel. It's not a physical universe. It's consciousness experiencing something and cruising through parallel realities. And so I told her, and it's funny because I was okay with her really criticizing me. I didn't care anymore. It was about facing my fear. And when the goal is just internal and you're not trying to manipulate how other people will react, generally speaking, they actually react positively. I also told her that I have no friends and I am completely okay with it. And I was afraid of her judgment, but I was like, I don't care anymore. I have to be able to express what I think and who I am. And and really still, when I talk about stuff like that, for me it sounds crazy. I'm like, oh man, people are just going to destroy me. It's still a mindfuck for me to be able to express that. And I feel the fear inside. And the funny thing is, my sister reacted really positively and understood like where I'm coming from, because I was really honest about what I feel and what I think, and I wasn't trying to manipulate her reaction. So how you can see it also is when you're trying to manipulate the reaction of other people, what you're actually doing is you're trying to force them into a certain path, a certain way. You're wanting them to like you. But what humans hate most is when you're trying to manipulate them, and when you're not honest about it. It's even worse. That's when you're running away from these people, and that's the kind of people you don't like. It's because they're just like, they're so needy and they're trying to manipulate you, and you can feel it. That's when you're meeting someone, for example, and everything is fine, but somehow you're like, I don't like that guy. Fuck him. I don't know why, but I don't like him. And most of the time, it's because those people are not being honest, and they want you to have a certain reaction, or they want a certain outcome, and then you don't like them. And this is exactly why when you're trying to please people, generally, what actually happens is the opposite, and people just make fun of you and criticize you. It's because they feel that. They feel the energy, they feel that you're being needy, and you're trying to manipulating their reaction. And so therefore, what reality and the universe gives you is exactly what you fear, which is people criticizing you and making fun of you. And it is actually a good thing. It's because then you're going to realize that you're not dying and that there's nothing to fear, because what's happening is just like a physical reaction, and you're not dying, nothing happens if you're being publicly shamed. Nothing actually happens. It's what most people fear, but it's also what most people don't go through. And so therefore they cannot see that what actually happens is just nothing. Nothing happens. You just experience the fear, and it's very unpleasant, but that's it. And it's not even like people are all going to say, you're just so fucking strange, get out, and you're being expelled out of society. That's how it feels like. That's how it feels. That's what you think is going to happen, or what you feel is going to happen when you want to talk about stuff, and when you fear that you're gonna be crazy, and that people are going to think that you're crazy. That's what you feel is going to happen. The funny thing is, this is not what is happening. People actually understand you and sometimes admire you when you're being honest, because also you're one of the very, 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 very few people who are being honest, and who are just being vulnerable and opening up and being like, I'm okay if you don't like me, if you hate me, if you destroy me with your opinion, it's fine, I don't care anymore. There's just so few people doing that. So when you meet such people, you cannot help but admire them, because all of the other people are kind of trying to manipulate your opinion about them. They're trying to make you like them. And this feels really bad. It's like, fuck you. I don't want you to manipulate me. I want you to not give a shit about what I think about you. That's what every human actually wants. But at the same time, what most humans want is to be accepted. And therefore, many people are actually okay with interacting with each other and validating each other, because what they want is the same thing. They have the same fears and the same desires of being accepted, and therefore it's all right. And most people are all right with people that want to be validated by them, because they want to be validated by these people as well. So that's why it actually works out. But if there's a disbalance, and you're really too fearful and all, then people are going to criticize you and really making fun out of you. And so what you can try to do is be honest about your fear, express it with words, talk about it, where is it, and all that stuff. And embrace it, and don't try to be a certain way. Just try to be okay with being super shaky, with having your voice also being shaky, with everything that you fear happening. Be okay with that. And see that it's so ridiculous to just being afraid of it. Actually, it's insane. And so be okay with being just the person you don't want to be. And it feels better, you know, like right now I'm not trying to be someone I'm not. There's even just like so many things I don't like about me in this video. And still I think that the reaction to this video is probably gonna be very positive. Now I know it because there's nothing I can do more. There's nothing more honest that I can do right now than just this, what I'm doing right now. I cannot express something more honestly than I'm doing right now. Because this is exactly what it feels like, what I feel and what I think. And so when you do that, I think that it really helps to face the fears and handle the fears. And I'm still fearful of what people are going to think, or of what people are going to comment in my videos, even though I know they don't do that all the time. And I hate that fear. But by being okay with it, somehow it's fine. And yeah, so that's what you can try to do. That's really my purpose in my videos, is not to give like really good advice or stuff like that, because I think the only lessons that you can teach people is the stuff you're going through yourself at a certain moment. And so I'm just trying to be an example for people who have exactly the same issues than me, which is trying to be yourself and you just feel so crippled that you're afraid of doing it. Well, try to do a video like this and try to be really honest. And just like doing it like this in a video for internet, like that's easy. The next step is to do that. Whoa, this video is so long. Is to do that in your daily life with people around you, with your coworkers, with your friends, with other students, with your parents. That's tough. That's really tough. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to, so the next weeks and months, I'm trying to just burn everything down in my life by being myself and saying what I want, expressing what I feel, and doing what I want regardless of what other people think. With respect, but I'm going to do it. And I'm really scared of it because I'm afraid of what my parents are going to think, my grandparents, my coworkers. And it's like I've got no one really like on my side. Then I'm alone. But that's the courageous thing to do. And at a certain point, it feels worse not to be yourself than to take that risk of being rejected by everyone in your reality. It just feels worse. That's how it feels for me right now. And this is a threshold you reach. Most people, they're under that threshold. They're okay with not being themselves. It's still not very painful for them. So I think it depends on people. It depends probably on the rate at which people grow and maybe just what's relevant for them in this lifetime, what they're doing in this life. So that's it. Thanks for listening to this very long video.